All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a game between Celebrate versus ArminvB. Let me double check those names, make sure that they are right. It is Celebrate versus ArminvB. I'm just gonna call it Celebrate versus Arm, as this is going to be a bit, well, Arm Van B. All right, R Van B. I'm just going to call him Arm because, well, it's going to be faster and easier for me. And Metaphysics knows that I need to conserve my energy. This is an Orc versus Orc mirror match here, taking place here on Twisted Meadow. Is going to go ahead and head off to the at least 1 minute 40-second mark to speed things up. Both sides pretty much opening up with very similar builds. No one going for a barracks as of yet, so it looks like it will be a very, very fast tech to tier 2. All right, let's go ahead and... Oh, nope. Not a fast tech to tier 2. It is going to be Farseer and Hunters coming out, and Farseer and Hunters coming in from Celebrate at Armin. Okay, Armin. Armin versus Celebrate. Well, coming across here, it is going to be Farseer versus Farseer. Yeah, straight out of the gate, a little bit... a little bit... Uh, well, I think I'm a little bit concerned. As the game unravels, you will perhaps understand my trepidation in trying to cast this particular matchup here. As Celebrate, going to go ahead and clear out this, well, rather easy 3-1-1 creep camp. It's Armin van Buuren, that famous techno. All right. Techno DJ, is it techno, trance, house, jungle? Don't really know the difference between all of those styles of music, or are you just saying techno as in electronic, like EDM? Anyways, coming back across here, Armin gonna go ahead and clear out this Null Brute creep camp after it was initially started here, as we should be starting to get some headhunters as well. Headhunters, well, are going to be rather vulnerable to the Spirit Wolf. Yeah, because I don't know the difference either. I don't know the difference. Yeah, trance, house, techno, jungle. I don't know the difference all that well. I do enjoy some EDM, but I never really got into it all that much. Anyways, let's go ahead and, well, look at Farseer Wars in 2021. Spirit Wolf just going after units and units. Yeah, I know dubstep is different. All right, going to come back away here as the, well, the Wolves going to perhaps try and take down that one Headhunter. Headhunter does take a bit of bonus damage from those Spirit Wolves, as I was mentioning, as that Headhunter now trying to retreat all the way back. And just some early wars, some early zoning happening between the players here, and the armies are about the same in size. There is no Voodoo Lounge, though, so this one Spirit, or this one Headhunter, is going to have a really rather bad day. Resummoning those Spirit Wolves, this Headhunter going to be staying around in the very far back here. We are getting up 3 Headhunters by Celebrate. Meanwhile, Armin currently sitting on well, the same amount of headhunters, but they seem to be back at home. Yeah, just sitting back at home right now, not really trying to engage. Perhaps going to try and, well, get those units out a little bit later, as we are looking at 3 headhunters and really Celebrate unable to gather that much experience. Armin continually just putting in pressure time and time again. Farseer does need to back away. It looks like there's like movements, there's like formation movement coming across from Armin for just one moment right there, and, well, purposely trying to take down one of those units, as the headhunters are there to quickly retreat back around and now take down one of those wolves. Wolf already down to 50 hit points, is going to get taken down. 1 more shot, 2 more shots should be needed. Oh, wow. The Spirit Wolves did not engage, and, well, they're just going to be chasing off back here. So far, 17 supply army versus 13 army overall. Both sides going Farseer and Headhunters. This is a lot of Headhunters wars. Meanwhile, Celebrate heading off to the very far north for what is possibly going to be a ninja expansion. Peon is already off over here. Another Headhunter making its way. And I believe we should be not trying to, well, walk the Headhunter all the way across the map any longer, as that could actually get scouted out and reveal this, well, little bit of a ninja expansion. Headhunter first, not necessarily the most common strategy here. Headhunters have become a bit more popular overall as of late. Headhunters were almost like an afterthought Before, only if your opponent was trying to go for air would you ever go for headhunters. Now, headhunters, well, being masked up by both sides here. Armin coming across, has a scroll of speed, and now going to go ahead and try and engage here. What is this going to do? One headhunter making its way back. Bestiary going to end up taking quite a bit of damage as the burrows do not have that fortified upgrade. We're going to see a lot of damage across all of these burrows right here. Scroll of Town Portal already being used. Peons now trying to repair. Shadowhunter going to be joining in on the fight as the Farseer only used now Farseer using that Staff of Teleportation. No, Scroll of Town Portal to get inside here. The headhunters were already walking back. What is going on here? Not enough headhunters to really defend this location, as Celebrate Me is going to have a very difficult time here. More peons need to try and continually repair, just putting pressure onto that Farseer. Farseer is going to end up Scroll of Teleporting away at 78 hit points, but not before taking down both Orc Burrows. 2 Orc Burrows lost. And now Armin with a major advantage over his opponent, but that advantage will not stick around for very long unless he scouts out this expansion over here to the top right. Twisted Meadows, a rather large map, and it is very easy to set up ninja expansions as, well, you just don't even know where to look. Farseer is in the back here. Clarity Potion being used. Shadowhunter going to try and get to level 2. Picks up a Potion of Invulnerability. And, well, 2 mana-based heroes between that Farseer and this Shadowhunter. Tech to tier 2 now done. Bestiary is being placed down, and this is double Bestiary here. Are we going to be looking at a large number of Raiders? Yes, we are, but Celebrate Me, looking like he was just building more and more buildings, forgetting that he needs burrows in order to train any units. Units are going to be retreating all the way back here, trying to get back up onto that high ground, trying to heal up, and Celebrate Me is going to be in a lot of trouble as another headhunter could get taken out here. Armin is in a great spot to control this game, but a lot of Orc players really sit on one base only. What is this Farseer trying to do? It is trying to run away. There's a Chain Lightning down to 51 hit points. Are we going to see a Purge? Yes, we are. Farseer could end up getting taken out. Gets a Chain Lightning off first, but that's really going to even more set him further behind. 22 supply. Farseer getting resurrected. This watchtower trying to get built. It's most likely just going to end up being canceled, as well as the headhunters are pushing their way through. Fortified defenses will be ready, and then all of us. Then in this moment, Farseer and the Shadowhunter will not really be able to target any of the buildings here, as it is all going to have fortified armor. Magic damage, piercing damage, heroic damage, all rather ineffective, as we're looking at the headhunters now make their way over. There's that reinforced defense as well, making this base quite difficult to take out as we are going into more watchtowers. The expansion is already up and operational at the 1 o'clock position here, and Armin is just trying to finish the game, putting in pressure, not leveling up his heroes, as the Spirit Wolves are just running around now. That is a lot of headhunters trying to finish down some of those units. Raiders are also out on the battlefield, but a quick purge onto a Raider is going to slow him down as the headhunters fire from a safe distance. Farseer continuing that engagement here. 1 watchtower, headhunters down to the south, and Celebrate Me is, well, just taking it rather easy. He has that expansion over here on the top right. He knows where his opponent is, even if the opponent is knocking on the front door of his base. He knows he has the economic advantage, and he knows that, well, Armin is not using his time very wisely at all. Raiders going to be joining in on the battle here. Are we going to get a couple of repairs going? Yes, we are. Units trying to back away. Farseer is going to be jumping back out onto the battlefield. 1 Bestiary going to go down. It's going down to 2 production buildings only. All right, another Bestiary being built in the back. Healing salves perhaps will get added across as well. That Farseer is sitting at level 3. And that should be a good indicator to Armin that something is not quite right. In order for the Farseer to have gotten to level 3, the Farseer had to have cleared out a relatively difficult orange creep camp. And, well, he should be looking for an expansion. That's exactly what he's doing now. A yellow wolf already heading off to the north. Gonna spot this expansion as another bestiary coming into play here. And wow, this one gold mine has 6 out of 5 peons mining from it here. All right, units going to be now heading back off to the north. Are we going to be trading expansions for a main base? 47 supply compared to 41. There is now a couple of watchtowers being added in, and now putting in pressure. Fortified armor already coming into play. But, well, Celebrate already has raiders. Those raiders are going to be incredibly effective against burrows and their fortified armor. A lot of repairs coming back across, and not all of a sudden, well, Armin needs to go ahead and scroll of Town Portal to get away. There is a lot of chain lightning going down here. One headhunter not being able to escape, as it is headhunters and shamans going up against headhunters and raiders. All right, bestiary here, bestiary here, bestiary here. Well, Celebrate me really running a beastly army, I guess, so to speak, as the Farseer has double scrolls of speed and does not have a second hero. Units coming back around. Voodoo Lounge. Voodoo Lounge ready. Well, Voodoo Lounge is there. Farseer now heading off over here at what I'll call the 10 o'clock location. Farseer, Shadowhunter, level 3. Coming back around. Spirit Wolf's going to go ahead and get summoned here. Raider's going to go ahead and engage. And in comes a couple of Headhunters. Coming back around. Ogre Warriors, Ogre Magi going to get taken out pretty fast, as the Farseer is sitting very close to getting closer to level 4. However, Armin is definitely winning out on the hero experience war with a level 3 Shadowhunter and a level 3 Farseer. Are we just going to be seeing expansions galore? That is the question, as Celebrate knows that, Celebrate knows that he has the economic advantage, but may not be able to translate that into a large enough army to fight back against his opponent. We are looking at 2-0 upgrades on the Berserkers already. We are at tier 3. We are at Berserkers and 2 level 3 heroes going up against a solo level 3. Where are these units going to perhaps try and travel off to next? There is plenty of places to try and creep. The Spirit Wolf going to head off over here and scout out another expansion attempt coming in from Celebrate. And the Celebrate is taking a play out of Moon's playbook, trying to expand everywhere on the map. All right, constantly expanding everywhere on the map is, well, difficult to do. Army size 34 compared to 26. That's quite a large difference here, as we're going to see a couple of ensnares go down. Celebrate, however, getting his raider purged, and that was going to stop it in its tracks for long enough. Celebrate now quickly jumping into low upkeep. Still has a little bit of gold in the bank, as we're looking at more creeping coming across here. All right, so Celebrate gonna get a little bit of bonus experience. We do have spiked barricades as well. I'm not quite sure what the spiked barricades are going to be for, as the only things that are melee units coming in from Armin's army are those wolves. All right, Farseer with Bloodlust. Okay, so we have Bloodlusted Berserker Shamans 14 minutes into this game, as the Farseer or the Shadowhunter should be able to get to level 4 here. Meanwhile, off over here, Armin quickly gonna shut down the expansion attempt here. There goes that one peon, dealing in those critical strikes. 64 supplies, so Celebrate coming across with a very large army, and, well, Celebrate's coming across with a very large army. Is he going to be able to get off in snares, as this Raider army now making its way back to the bottom left to stop Armin's expansion attempt? Celebrate quickly throws down a watchtower off in the distance, as the Great Hall is going to be reflecting damage back to these Raiders in just a little bit. All right, it looks as though you can still get Healing Salve bonus while you are attacking spiked barricades. Rather interesting if you didn't know that. But illusions, auto attacks do remove the Healing Salve, even though they do not deal damage. Meanwhile, spiked barricades on a building don't remove the Healing Salve charge, even though it does damage back. All right, Farseer, Shadowhunter going to go ahead and engage. We see Shamans with, Bloodlust. Berserkers trying to come in from the back as well. Scroll of Speed trying to get away, and there's a Purge going down on 2 of those Raiders. those Raiders getting slowed down significantly there, removing that scroll of speed buff as the units are trying to make their way back down again. All of this extra gold is currently just turning into experience for Armin's Farseer and Shadowhunter as he loses unit after losing a bit of units rather quick. All right, are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal here? Yes, we are, as it turns into a little bit of a Scroll of Town Portal trade. Headhunter's going to try to finish off a unit, and I don't believe any units were taken down this time. All right, the downside of all of this effect, though, is that Armin is using a lot of mana on his shamans to try and just bloodlust and get into the right position. All right, there is one watchtower here. This is, they have got to see this, right? Is Celebrate going to try and set up an additional watchtower, prevent this location from being pressured, as we are looking at Celebrate setting up another expansion on the mini-map at the 4 o'clock positioning here. All right, plenty of watchtowers here as well. That is going to be fairly well protected. Headhunter is not going to be able to deal that much damage. Meanwhile, watchtower number 1 is about to get taken down. Raider is going to be coming in from the north. Only a handful of units here. And yeah, Celebrate cannot be just throwing away these units so needlessly, as we are looking at, well, level 4 and almost level 5 now onto that Shadowhunter. That Shadowhunter going to get closer and closer still. All right, another base trade experience. And I guess if you have the gold to burn, might as well just constantly use Scrolls of Town Portal to put pressure onto your opponent. All right, we are looking at 4 or 6 Raiders here, a 7th and an 8th Raider getting added in. And we are also looking at ensnares coming down as well. The Fortress could end up getting destroyed here. That's going to be incredibly, incredibly strong, as the Fortress is down to 300 hit points, down to 200 hit points, down to 100 hit points. Is it going to fall? One more shot should be able to do it, as the, well, repairs are coming across, and now we should be looking at a Scroll of Town Portal to get away. No, going after the Voodoo Lounge instead. Not quite sure why you need to remove that Voodoo Lounge. It's finally taken out, as the Burrows are starting to shoot back at all of these Raiders. One Raider gets taken out, but now there's only one expansion here on the bottom left. Not fully saturated at all. And that is going to be a problem, as Celebrate perhaps going to try and set up an expansion here while already 3/4 of the way done with this expansion here. Yeah, Night Elf impersonation indeed. Orc player expanding like a Night Elf player here on Twisted Meadows. Just taking a play out of their playbook, as peons are now going to be racing their way back down. All right, Raiders trying to make their way down here as well. Are we going to perhaps get an ensnare? Farseer getting purged, as we're going to see a little bit of damage again. All right, a lot of damage added up. Farseer trying to use that scroll, or the scroll of speed, to try and get away, and looks like it will be able to do that. Great Hall down to 300 hit points. It is going to end up falling as well, as we are looking at the second, well, Town Hall building getting destroyed in about 2 minutes. Are we rebuilding here? Yes, we are rebuilding that Voodoo Lounge, and Armin does not have much of an army, but additional peons are getting taken out here, as we now have level 5 on the Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter is at 5. Farseer not too far behind. Scroll of Town Portal, Celebrate Me, teleported to a different location this time around in order to try and confuse his opponent, as additional Shadow Wolves are getting added in. Shadowhunter perhaps suspects that there is another ninja expansion somewhere, as the units are now making their way off to the bottom side here. 3-0 upgrades on those Headhunters, as well as we are looking at the Raiders going after the Great Hall. One more. Is there... I actually believe there is Pillage. This is the only way that this strategy makes sense. Pillage is most likely researched and just constantly hit and run and guerrilla tactics throughout this matchup again. Farseer, Headhunters trying to figure out where the Raiders are. Raiders are saying, you know what? I'm going to try and catch you a different way once more, as the Great Hall now going to be under a bit of pressure. A lot of peons, or some peons trying to put in a little bit of distance here. We are looking at the Raiders trying to engage. It looks like they will be able to deal some of that damage back. The spiked barricades, however, are reflecting a large amount of damage back to these Raiders, as we see a quick cancellation once more. Scroll of Town Portal to get away. Raiders could make their way back over, perhaps try and take down this watchtower as well. The Raiders in position to stop this watchtower here. However, lots of peons going to make that watchtower nearly impossible to take out, as the Raiders now make their way back off to the north. Spiked barricades here, going in for more bestiaries. We are looking at one bestiary here, and then 2 back in the base still. Triple training of bestiaries, and we don't see that many weapon upgrades at all. Only 1-0 weapon upgrades, compared to 3-0 coming in from Armin's. Well, Armin's own berserkers with bloodlust, and could also go into that berserker rage for even faster attack speed. All right. Wolves looking to see perhaps there's expansions anywhere on the map. This Shadow Wolf is going to spot this location here. A lot of peons here, 6/5, just trying to make sure that there's full saturation indeed, as the peons perhaps going to start building up some additional orc burrows. All right, that Shadow Wolf should be able to finish off a peon or 2 once more. And right now we're mining on 2 bases, soon to be 1 though, as the main base doesn't have that much gold. Armin gonna lose this, well, tower down over here on the bottom left, as the Shadow Wolves are gonna make their way over once more. Celebrate Me needs to set up some more peons, perhaps get another orc burrow in position to try and protect those peons while the Shadow Wolves are trying to engage. All right, 2 Shadow Wolves here going to be able to put pressure onto those peons once more, trying to catch a couple of raiders who are, well, getting purged. No real easy way to try and back away. There goes one. There goes a second one going to end up getting taken down. Yes, it will. There is another purge again, a third purge as well. 69 supply compared to 47. And at some point, you have to deal with the fact that, well, you're going up against higher level heroes. Raiders are going to go ahead and just rush on in once more. A wall of peons protecting the Great Hall. And, well, that's going to make this, well, rather difficult to finish off. Raiders are just getting completely stuck in traffic here, as the Farseer now looking to scroll a town portal and back away. All right, another Raider ends up getting taken down, as the Farseer and Shadow Hunter are just inching closer to level 6. Shadow Wolves perhaps going to try and take down this Great Hall here. Peons are already making their way over. It looks as though the Great Hall will end up getting destroyed. There is enough watchtowers here, though, that this is going to make it nearly impossible to try and take it down with just Shadow Wolves here in a little bit. Meanwhile, back off to the side, that 4 o'clock expansion finally getting pressured enough for it to get taken out. All right, a new expansion should be getting underway here in just a moment. There's an ensnare onto a peon. How many workers are left for Armin? Armin has 12 workers left, as he is repairing this Great Hall and should be able to get back to work, mine a little bit of gold before looking to see where he has to try to set up another base. All right, a whole bunch of watchtowers here. Great Hall coming back into play. A tech in the tier 3 for bonus experience and also access to a tiny Great Hall could actually be a very reasonable choice. Expansions are very difficult to establish once your opponent has Shadow Wolves. They can just constantly and easily put pressure without really committing to that fight at all. All right, gold mine here is lost. Gold mine here is not lost. More Shadow Wolves are going to be making their way over, and this is just going to continue to inch the experience back over. All right, ensnare onto a shaman there. Units trying to make their way back out. It looks like they will be able, no, not be able to do that. Chain lightning bouncing around, adding up more damage. Shamans are low on mana, and without access to any sort of brilliance aura or ways to get mana onto those shaman, that is going to be a definite drawback. All right, an orc burrow perhaps set off over here could be offer a little bit of a hiding place once again, as we're looking at another expansion, well, a watchtower being built over here on the bottom left. Shadow Wolves perhaps going to get taken out by the Great Hall here. The Berserkers, the Shadow Hunter, nearly at level 5 and getting to level 6. This is going to be huge, especially since the Shadow Hunter has nothing that is really going to stop it from using Big Bad Voodoo. All right, so the Shadow Hunter in a little bit can... No, what am I talking about? Raiders. There's tons and tons of Raiders. So Big Bad Voodoo is not going to be useful at all. Thank you for the follow. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Celebrate Me looking to clear out... Yeah, only 15 ensnares. Looking to clear out the Forest Troll Warlord creep camp. I was thinking, no, there's no Hex. But, well, there is a whole bunch of Raiders here. that can easily take care of that. Farsi, you're going to pick up a pendant of mana. All right, so that's going to be a lot more mana indeed, up to 685, as we're looking at the 2 Ogre Magi's remaining, about to get cleared up. We need to see some Scrolls of Healing. There goes a Scroll of Healing to try and heal back up once more, as we are looking at another Great Hall coming into play. All right, Ogre Magi taking down Forest Troll, High Priest taking down, perhaps going to be using some healing salves. Farseer does get to level 5 and now has access to his own level 3 Shadow Wolves. All right, Shadow Wolf's gonna spot this off over here. Great Hall gonna gonna have a bit of pressure once more. We could be going into an engagement, as the Shadow Wolves are gonna be able to deal significant damage to those Berserkers when the time comes. 55 supply compared to 50. Armin gonna easily finish off these two raiders, and now the Shadow Hunter is at level 6. 26 minutes into this game, we have a level 6 Shadow Hunter, almost level 6 Farseer, and, well, bases galore. All right, Celebrate Me now fully mining from this base here at the 10 o'clock position with those watchtowers. 4, it does not look like it will get taken down very easily. Quick Hex going down onto a Raider. Farseer getting purged, as the Farseer trying to use a Scroll of Speed to get away, only to see itself get purged once more. Farseer is going to be able to shake this all off, gets purged again, and finally using a Scroll of Town Portal instead. All right, Raiders now making their way back down across here. They're not going to try and engage, as they don't have a Scroll of Town Portal as an easy get-out-of-jail-free card. Farseer needed to buy perhaps a couple more healing salves. Gonna put pressure over here on the bottom left, and as long as you can contain Armin, that seems to be enough. All right, a little bit of mining still going on, but only 30 seconds left. And then what you see is what you're gonna get, as Armin does not have a base anywhere else on the map. All right, however, the army of Armin doing a great job just constantly purging and then picking off units, and that's just translating into additional gold, additional experience for these units. Nearly level 6 now on that Farseer, as that Farseer, needs about 20 experience more, 18, I would guess, 15 more experience to get to the next level. All right, 2 Raiders down over here offering themselves up as experience to Armin. Couple of purges going to come across, not even needing to purge, as they're not running, and it's to level 6, and perhaps we're going to start seeing Earthquake. All right, Earthquake is a channeled ability as well, so that is going to be important to keep a track of if the Earthquake on these buildings is enough. All right, there is 1 Raider being purposely left behind here. Meanwhile, Armin trying to set up an expansion at the 4 o'clock location, only to see it getting rushed in with Raiders again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But it could be useful to try and change up your strategy. Celebrate Me, though, seems simply in a pretty good spot here. Are we going to see Earthquake come back across? There is that Earthquake. It's going to hit 2 watchtowers, the Altar of Storms, the Fortress, and also that Burrow, taking down those buildings rather quickly, as that's the only way to really deal damage to buildings. Fortress about to get taken down here. And, well, what does that mean? It means that they're not going to be able to build all that much. Scroll of Town Portal now trying to go as a retreat down to 220 hit points, as it's going to end up being saved. All right, coming back across here, there's another scroll. Was any buildings really lost? It doesn't look like it. Farseer, however, able to take down a couple of key buildings indeed, as the Fortress is now down to 107 hit points. All right. I don't know if you're trying to win a base trade and, well, your opponent just has more bases than you, that is a bit of a problem. Peon is actually getting in some repairs here. Is it going to be able to... no, it's not repairing. Wow. Why isn't the Peon repairing? There's the peons, if it tried to repair the entire time, it would have been able to hold it off. There goes that the last couple of hit points onto that Fortress, as the Headhunt, or the Berserkers and the Shamans, are now finishing off the remainder of the burrows here. All right, coming back down, Shadow Wolf trying to go down after a couple of peons inside of the main base, inside the main base of Armin. This is just going rather sideways here. We are looking at only 30 more seconds of mining here. This base is still not yet done, but once again, Celebrate Me with over well, with a whole bunch of guard towers here, should be able to get this up and running without much of an issue. All right, Orc Burrow, is it going to get canceled? I do believe so. The Shadow Wolves trying to go after those watchtowers now, or go after the Great Hall, but the Great Hall is just going to end up being constructed here again. Scroll of Town Portal coming back across. A couple of purges should go down. There's 3 purges on 3 units. Couple of shamans are going to have problems. Farseer getting hexed here. Is the Farseer going to be able to escape away down to 81 hit points? And well, able to escape right there. Celebrate me with 80 hit points, and that seems to be enough to at least let him fight another day. All right, this expansion is now already done. Where did the Farseer go? Farseer went all the way to the top left-hand side of the map, not fully saturated on this gold mine as of yet. Raider going to end up a Raider getting taken down there. Farseer at 6, Shadowhunter at 6 as they're retreating back. Yeah, if he had gone for level 3 Hex instead of 1 level of Serpent Wards, that would have been just enough time to finish off that Farseer right there, as that Hex would have lasted, I believe it's 1 second or even a half second longer. That could have been enough. Looking at that Rock Golem here, Farseer with a decent number of items. Shadowhunter and Farseer staying at level 6. Won't get any closer to level 7 though, but the Shadowhunter does have a good amount of mana. We are 31 minutes into this game. There is only one location on the main portion of the map that has not been cleared out or has been mined from for at least a little bit. As we're looking at Celebrate Me, perhaps trying to get a little bit more experience as well onto this Farseer. Do we see a tech to tier 2 anywhere? No, Celebrate Me is not building techs to tier 2 anywhere that I see. Meanwhile, a Great Hall being constructed down here, as the Farseer should be trying to use, well, Earthquake to take down buildings. The problem, though, is he cannot win in a base race scenario, and he doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal to really, well, try and get away from home. That is the problem now, as the Farseer looking to clean up the remainder of this, clean up the remainder here. All right, if Raiders are not enough to take down your opponent's buildings, consider using Goblin Sappers, as the Sappers may be trying to rush on in here as well. All right, Shadow Wolves heading off to the north here. Goblin Sappers perhaps expecting to see that there was a gold mine here and doesn't see it. That is interesting as well. Goblin Sappers, where are they going to go next? We're looking, well, Armin trying to see if this red creep camp has been cleared out. No, it has not. Bottom left, going to start going to start mining in about another, 1 minute. Don't spoil it. As the Farseer now trying to, well, Scroll of Town Portal away. Chain Lightning bouncing around, able to get back here. Farseer is sitting at level 6. Level 3 Chain Lightning is going to be incredibly important. Meanwhile, Shadow Wolf down to the south here, trying to add in a little bit of damage. Back off over here to the top left, we see a lot of mining still happening and still going on. Shadowhunter sitting at level 6 and with plenty of mana to constantly heal up his own friendly units. What would Armin's strategy be here now? The fast movement speed of the Orc army and those Raiders, and the fact that they're able to get gold from attacking, makes them very, very dangerous. Meanwhile, Armin himself has a decent sized army and could purposely try and get a little bit of gold, but by hanging back, he actually exposes his own main base. Orc burrows here, peons perhaps trying to just hide on inside. Only one is working there, as the Shadow Wolves going after the shamans, only quickly realizing that, wait a second, hold on, they can easily just purge me. Back across here, Shadow Wolves, well, gonna try and take down a couple of towers, And it looks like Celebrate Me is just setting up another expansion, or attempting to, at this 3 o'clock spot. Raiders, however, finding a large number of peons. Chain Lightning going to bounce around, perhaps take down some of those units. No, Healing Wave bouncing back around as well, as the Farseer does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There goes a Chain Lightning again. And, well, there's the Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to lose another Town Hall? Yes, we are. 2 Raiders lost in that exchange. But taking down a Town Hall, even if it doesn't, even if it has no peons mining, is important, as, well, every building matters. All right, now adding a couple of Witch Doctors would be very helpful. But remember, look at Armin's gold right now. He's sitting at 63 gold. It's not like he has that. That's going to be very easy for him to try and well, just train up an additional Witch Doctor or two. He'd rather have those 2 peons earlier on to do a little bit more. All right, Shadowhunter now sitting at level 7. Level 3 Hex is on the table. And with level 3 Hex now on the table, well, how getting a quick Hex onto that Farseer is incredible, is going to be huge. Armin does try to go for a Witch Doctor to gain a little bit of sight, only to see the Orc army there of Celebrate take it down. All right, more units trying to back away. Again, we are looking no Watchtower, no Orc Burrow to try and protect. And there's Voodoo Lounges pretty much everywhere on the map by Celebrate. Celebrate has easy access to shopping anywhere on the map. Almost like in Alaska, you are always within 100, tourists are always within 100 yards of a gift shop. It feels like Celebrate Me is always within 100 yards of a Voodoo Lounge if he really needs it. Coming back to the center here is Celebrate Me making its way back down inside, trying to set up a couple of, well, Shadow Walls. It's starting to set up a bunch of Serpent or Sentry Wards as well to gain a little bit of insight. Again, we're going to be looking. Tauren Totem going to get taken out. And there's a quick Hex now onto that Farseer. The Hex onto the Farseer means that it's going to be a delayed Scroll of Town Portal. Delayed Scroll of Town Portal means that, well, all of these Raiders are going to end up getting taken out. Celebrate Me taking tremendous losses here, losing a large number of units, as you see another Raider biting the dust. Celebrate Me down to 35 supply compared to Armin's 46. Though that level 3 Hex really working overtime to try and shut things down. However, of course, Raiders were able to take down the bottom left expansion during that point. All right, Celebrate Me still with that sneaky Goblin Sapper off to the north. We are mining on 2 bases right now. 10 minutes of mining there, 15 minutes of mining here. And we are 38 minutes into this game with still no end in sight. Level 7 Shadowhunter, level 7 Farseer. Are we actually going to get 2 level 10 heroes? If the game continues to go the way it is, perhaps we will. All right, 43 supply. Trying to chase after some of those units. Raiders are in the back. Just turn around and take up that free offering. No. Well, what is going on instead? The Shadow Hunt or the Farseer trying to sneak away. There's a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Are we perhaps going to be getting a Purge on there instead? No. Can go ahead and try and get a big surround here. And all of a sudden, the Farseer is going to be in trouble. Farseer, does it have a Scroll of Town Portal? I don't believe... Oh, does not. And it falls at level 5. All right, Celebrate Me losing a level 5 Farseer and 2 additional Raiders. But however, it looks like it's going to be able to take down this Great Hall over here on the bottom left. There's another cancellation once more as the Raiders look to finish this off again. All right, Shadowhunter has a bunch of ways to heal. Farseer now being, bringing all the way to the bottom left, perhaps going to try and offer a bit of protection once more. And all Armin wants to do is get a little bit of mining done. Farseer of Armin now, finds a way to use Earthquake effectively, and there goes a whole bunch of towers as, that Watchtower is still poking away at this Farseer here. All right, trying to back away, perhaps going to get in some damage here. No, taking some damage from those Watchtowers as it finally decides to retreat back. Shadowhunter does not have any healing salves. Healing Wave is obviously going to be used to try and bolster up that Farseer again, as we're looking at more and more damage being brought to the table. Shadow Wolves getting added across here. Or are we going to perhaps see an actual Raider getting taken out by spiked barricades? That's a significant amount of damage. Yeah, that Raider might actually get killed after trying to attack, and yes, it does. Spiked barricades finishing off a unit there. I hope it zooms back out here, as the Farseer now looking to get away once more. All right, Celebrate Me down to 40, or back up to 42 supply, I should say. And even as Raiders are getting destroyed, units trying to retreat back once more. There are sentry wards all over the map to offer a little bit of insight. Again, one Goblin Sapper, that guy still has yet to be used, as the Farseer now looking to back away again. All right, Raiders constantly getting purged. Well, see, you use the map drag, right? Like, I don't like using that as ways to it, right? Like when you're playing, it makes sense to, like, you're trying to control things, but as a cameraman, you're trying to highlight the action without making things too dizzy, right? So it's that center mouse click. But the wheel scroll is what causes the zoom out, and that's the accidental zoom right there. All right. Farseer now looking to back away again. Farseer trying to head off to the top right. It looks like another Raider is going to get taken out, and Armin is just doing a great job finishing off units. If the game came down to how many units you killed over your opponent, then Armin would definitely be in the lead, but that is just not the case. Celebrate with apparently plenty of units to sacrifice, as he is still mining from a couple of bases here and here. It looks like it's going to be down to 5,000 gold and 7,000 gold off in these two locations, as Celebrate looks to set up an expansion with very, very forward watchtowers, in fact. Are those Shadow Wolves going to be able to spot this? That is the question here, as the Peon now trying to get away. All right. Shadow Wolf going to try and take down these two buildings here. It's going to get taken out pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the Farseer is himself of Celebrate Me getting very close to level 6 as well. Perhaps if we see a level 6 on the Farseer of Celebrate Me, he'll be able to use Earthquake rather effectively too. But Armin now trying to set up this expansion for what seems to be the umpteenth time. Armin looking to just mine a little bit more gold again, as the Shadow Wolves here able to take down a watchtower. Yeah, you have no access to chat in a replay, so you cannot enter in the command zoom 1900. Farseer now looking to retreat back off to the north again. And with so much map control in Celebrate Me's corner, what is he going to try and do next? Shadow Wolves making their way back down, sees that there is nothing really going on here. It looks like as though one watchtower going to get taken out, another watchtower could get taken out again, but this is just turning into a little bit of a cute game indeed, as this watchtower, is it going to end up getting canceled? No, it's not canceled, just absolutely, destroyed there, as another watchtower quickly there to take its place. Yeah, removing Twisted Meadows from NetEase tournaments. And, oh, what is this? We have Farsight. Farsight, there is a Goblin Zeppelin. Sappers cannot get in Goblin Zeppelins. That would just be an absolutely broken use here, as we are now going to go ahead and engage here. There's Earthquake going after a cluster of buildings once more, taking down some of those Wind Riders that are trying to be trained up. And this damage is incredibly important. Why would you go Wind Riders when your opponent has an army of Berserkers? I do not know, but taking down these buildings absolutely important to getting closer to victory. Bottom left-hand side of the map, finally mining again, but with offering really no protection whatsoever. 3-0 upgrades. Wind Riders could be trained up from that bestiary as well. There is still one bestiary left on the map, or two bestiaries left on the map. Goblin Sappers, are they going to try? Goblin Sapper is going to run off here. Are they going to be able to make it? That is the question here. Goblin Sappers of Celebrate Me need to separate themselves. Otherwise, otherwise they are gonna accidentally kill themselves on each other. Celebrate Me wandering in straight into the army of Armin. Armin's gonna be able to take down this Farseer here without much of an issue. A lot of purge. Scroll of Town Portal coming back across as we're looking at more. Well, this base off over here gonna be offered a lot of protection again. All right, the Shadow Wolf is going to try and take down these watchtowers, but these watchtowers are just going to be far too much since there are 4 of them being able to cover each other easily. Goblin Sapper still lying in wait, ready. 2 is not enough. I believe you need 3 in order to take them all down. Not quite sure why no gold is being harvested. Oh, lumber is the issue right now. Armin needs lumber, as well as we see Earthquake quickly taking down these 4 watchtowers off over here. All right, Earthquakes destroying more buildings in this game than I've seen in quite some time. And, well, there's still no end in sight as of yet. Farseer alongside 2 Shadow Wolves making their way back down. They're going to try and put in pressure, and here comes the 2 Goblin Sappers. Is this base going to end up getting destroyed here? And in comes the units once more. 15, or it just needs to get down to 1,000 hit points, and that would be enough to allow the Goblin Sappers to finish the remainder of the job. All right, we see quick reveals into each of the corners of the map to make sure there aren't any island expansions set up anywhere, as there's still plenty of mining going on. And Celebrate Me deciding that at the 46-minute mark, it is a good opportunity to tech to tier 2. All right. More Goblin Sappers getting added in once again. Are these Goblin Sappers? Oh, peons, spot this. Is the Goblin Sapper going to try and do anything here? Oh, Goblin Sapper is just going to run on over. It's going to easily get taken out, though. There it goes. No Goblin Sapper play this time around. All right. Goblin Shredder, Farseer, Wind Riders getting added in to try and clear out this Red Dragon Whelp and Granite Golem Creep Camp. Shadow Wolves could get added in addition here. And the real problem so far is that the Farseer, doesn't have that many options to try and clear out of these difficult creep camps. All right, Red Dragon Whelp perhaps trying to drop a Goblin Shredder. Should be dropping a Goblin Shredder. That does deal a fairly decent damage. And here we go, running off to the races. Going straight for that Granite Golem. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Shadow Wolves right there. Is the Wind Rider going to end up getting taken down? Yes, it does. One Wind Rider already finished off here, as we're looking at a couple of stuns go down. Granite Golem going to end up getting lost here, perhaps dropping a decent item. Spiked Collar, not the item that he's really looking for. Mana Burn, Tome of Intelligence +2 will help a little bit, but not all that much, as another Wind Rider joins in on the fight. No more Goblin Shredder. You're going to pick up the Spiked Collar? I know it's not the best item, but it's still worth something. As we're looking at, Wind Riders trying to fight back here. Wind Riders were used to try and clear out the corners of the map, as the units are now looking to back away far. Could easily get in an Earthquake right here and take down a majority of these buildings once more. Are we going to see an Earthquake? Not quite sure. There we are. There's that Earthquake going after the buildings, going after the bestiary, and this should end up getting taken down pretty easily. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, we're finally seeing Armin being able to build up more Orc Burrows to try and train up more peons, as this Great Hall could end up getting destroyed here in just a moment. Shamans pushing their way through again. Earthquake has come to an end. Shadow Wolf's going to put pressure here, as Celebrate Me, may not be celebrating, as he is going to be going down to 1 base here in just a moment. Earthquake really changing the coursing and pacing of this game, but at the same time, where is he going? He needs to defend his own base here, as the Goblin Sappers, 4 Goblin Sappers making their way perhaps over here to the Great Hall. Scroll of Town Portal or Staff of Teleportation coming across here. Farseer going to be dropping in, and now here we go. There's a Chain Lightning taking down all 4 Goblin Sappers right there. Armin, quick reaction, noticing the 4 Goblin Sappers. Staff of Teleportation gets there quick and finishes all 4 off. All right, what's going to be done instead here? Farseer are going to go ahead and engage, try to finish off the remainder of the Granite Golems here. There is a Fell Stalker here trying to get in some damage, as the Wind Rider is getting destroyed. Celebrate Me, a little bit desperate at this point in stage. You cannot easily clear out the remainder of the creep camps, these corner creep camps, even using a Fell Stalker to try and take down a Granite Golem and, well, get any bit of gold any way he can. Scroll of Restoration would have been very useful if he actually had an army, but he's down to 24 supply. All right. 3-0 upgraded, bloodlusted, berserking berserkers. Damage should be rather high. Forest Troll Warlord could get taken out. Perhaps adding in True Shot Aura would be helpful, as the Shadow Hunter, well, is not going to get to level 9, as obviously you cannot gain any experience from creeps after level 5. Coming back across here, the Shadow Wolves perhaps going to take down a P or two. Is that going to give level 9? No, it is not. Even with the infinite range, still not enough. Needs to, well, take down a Watchtower. If it takes down a Watchtower, it might actually get to level 9 there, as that Great Hall is now under repair again. Shadow Wolves making their way to the bottom left here. Armin seems to be in control, having more workers or just mining gold right now, and also getting a little bit of a benefit here, adding in an Altar of Storms. All right, so Celebrate Me, perhaps trying to go for a second hero at the 50-minute mark of this game. And still no end in sight, as the Berserkers, Berserkers and Shamans are looking to perhaps just try and trap a couple more units again. All right. Burrow very, very well protected. Safe place for all of those peons to hide inside right now, as we're looking at a Great Hall, which was trying to get established by Celebrate Me. It was quickly scouted out here. Are those wolves going to be able to finish it off? You can see that these bloodlusted Shadow Wolves just dealing so much damage to those to this Great Hall here. All right, Goblin Sapper, is it going to get spotted? Yes, it will. We can see that, well, the Shadow Hunter is already at level 9, and we have an Orb of Darkness. All right, so Orb of Darkness, the item, skeletal minions will be appearing here on the map. We are at Stronghold here. We are at Altar of Storms. Are we going to try to go for tier 3 or try to train up a second hero? We don't know as of yet. All right, couple of buildings are left here. Shadow Wolves trying to take down the remainder of Armin's base here. Spirit Lodge, Altar of Storms. There's a quick purge, taking down that Shadow Wolf again, as the Farseer and Wind Riders and one Raider gonna go ahead and try to hide off in a corner. All right, getting close to 2 level 9 heroes coming in from Armin. Armin doing a great job to not let the economic advantage and really get him 2 down here, as well. Farsight, well, Celebrate Me was able to set up a ninja expansion over here on the top left. So Celebrate Me's ninja expansion here could be the difference, as it is difficult to get to unless you, well, try and bring over a Goblin Zeppelin. Units now trying to make their way back down, putting in pressure. Celebrate Me perhaps looking to focus down some of these buildings here, just constantly using those Shadow Wolves. As the Farseer, well, are we going to perhaps see a Hex there? No Hex, as a couple of units could easily get taken down. There's a quick purge onto a Wind Rider, stopping a unit in its tracks once more. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Are we going to perhaps get a little bit of purge? Our Shamans trying to fight back here, as the peons, well, should be jumping inside the Orc burrows to offer a little bit of protection. Level 6 now on Celebrate Me. So Celebrate Me now has access to his own Earthquake if he wants to. All right, this Hex lasting forever and a day. Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. He was down to 149 hit points. Gonna heal back up and perhaps, well, try and hit and run another location. Coming back around, Raiders are still getting damage onto barracks again. The Raiders are taking almost 20 damage per swipe onto these buildings, and that does add up over time. 4 more swipes and an altar on a building, and he will get taken out here. Farseer, well, wanting to get to level 9. Shadowhunter sitting at, well, almost 9.25 right now, as the units are retreating back once more. All right. Expansions trying to make sure that Zeppelin trying to make sure that there are no ninja expansions in the corner of the map. Celebrate Me building up one more while having a fully saturated mine on the top left hand side. All right, I would like to see the overall score between these two armies. Definitely Celebrate has mined more gold than his opponent. Meanwhile, Armin definitely has mined or has more experience than his opponent, and also has more unit kills, just because Celebrate had more units to kill. Farseer, sitting at level 6. Granite Golem getting focused down pretty quickly. Shadow Wolves absorbing a good amount of damage here. It looks like it will get taken down in just a moment, but the Farseer of ArminvB already shows up here trying to finish off. Gonna get a Chain Lightning onto some of those fleeing units. The Chain Lightning does not bounce onto the Wind Riders, though, as the Shadow Wolf's gonna try to get in position. There goes the Granite Golem dropping a stone token. That is going to drop a rock golem to fight for you, as well as Armin, well, able to catch his opponent. However, Armin, oh, the Wind Riders, if they actually stayed nearby, the Wind Riders could have perhaps tried to shoot down this Goblin Zeppelin, and that would be a major, major loss right there. Purposely not flying over in this direction. That would have been a horrible, horrible situation if you land over a place where those units could not get back onto the ground.
Players' forces are under attack.
All right, coming back around here, Farseer looking to try and finish things off. Celebrate Me sitting at level 6. Are we going to perhaps see some purges? Scroll of Speed now trying to get away. This mechanical unit perhaps could take a little bit of damage. Yes, there's the purge right there. And well, Celebrate Me going to end up losing to this Goblin Shredder as... Oh, all right, resetting the zoom. Thank you. As the Farseer now backing up again. All right. Expansion over here on the top left. Expansion over here on the top right. Celebrate Me mining on 3 bases right now. Soon to be 2, as this gold mine is coming to an end. Armin trying to mine over here. Staff of Teleportation inbound, as the Farseer is already here, ready to meet and greet. All right. Are we going to see a... the stone token coupled with Hex. How can you possibly stun out a Farseer long enough as the Farseer tries to get away? Are we going to see a Hex right there? Yes, we're going to see a Hex. And all of a sudden, this is going to go sideways as Celebrate Me loses a level 6 Farseer. Stone token also here bringing in the pain, as well as the expansion of Armin may actually finally get up and operational. Level 9.7 on the Shadow Hunter, level 9 on that Farseer. And are we going to get up to 2 level 10 heroes? That is the question, as another expansion being set up by Celebrate Me. Resurrection on the... Are we going to try and resurrect the Farseer the old-fashioned way? We are sitting on 1,700 gold. Perhaps going to try and resurrect it at the tavern. I don't see... I don't see this anywhere, as we are going into multiple bestiaries again. All right, a purge on to Celebrate Me's Wind Rider. We are 57 minutes into this game, and there is still no end in sight, as the Shadow Hunter does have Big Bad Voodoo and just is, well, a Serpent Ward away from maxing out all of his abilities. All right, a quick Hex onto a Wind Rider. Is it going to get taken down? No, down to 71 hit points and able to fly above the trees, and still quite a bit slowed. Are we going to see a reveal here onto that Wind Rider? Goblin Zeppelin picking up that Raider and perhaps trying to elevate once more. All right, Farseer going to get in position. There's the Chain Lightning taking down that Wind Rider. Wind Rider halfway up again. Peon going to try and set up an expansion over here, but that is going to quickly, well, reveal that there's already an expansion nearly done. And now the Farseer is back out onto the field. All right, so Farseer does have a Goblin Sapper. Gold mines mining away. Armin has 10 more minutes of mining on this bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, island expansions still have a bit of mining as well. Maybe 12 minutes of mining here, as the Great Hall could end up getting taken down. Armin being very proactive, trying to set up a couple of watchtowers to protect an island expansion in the side here. Meanwhile, Farseer gonna get picked up. Goblin Sapper. Well, you are. I guess if federal aviation rules say that you cannot bring a bomb onto an airplane or any explosives, and that applies to Zeppelins, air Zeppelins as well. Farseer, Staff of Teleportation, joining in on the battle again. Perhaps should be going after that Peon. A Great Hall is nearly done. Peon still summing up a little bit more as we're going to see, well, this watchtower about to get taken down on the other side. There's the cancellation as the Farseer is going to try and win out this battle. Does have level 2 or level 3 Chain Lightning. Should be able to win out with a Chain Lightning here. Not quite sure why not, as the Shadow Wolves are going after the Farseer. A new watchtower getting added across here, and well, in comes a War Mill as we're seeing a little bit of damage added back up. All right, fighting off in the corner here. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning? Well, no chain. Oh, it's Shadow Wolves getting added in once more. Farseer trying to do a little bit of chase. There is a Scroll of Restoration. Celebrate Me setting up some additional peons. Training up some additional peons as the Chain Lightning doesn't bounce onto that Wind Rider at all. Farseer trying to get back, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and also getting reinforced with a couple of Shadow Hunters and a Shadow Hunter and some Berserkers here. And this, well, this pressure and this island fight here in the corner of the map is going to go sideways for Celebrate Me. Oh, a bunch of Berserkers are right there trying to take down those units. One Wind Rider taken off as no Purge onto the Goblin Zeppelin. Finally, a Purge right there as the Goblin Zeppelin gets shot down. Purge, Farseer now using a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability as it is able to head back. Celebrate Me sitting at 51 supply as this expansion in the corner looks like it's going to get cleared up. All right, bottom left-hand side of the map, Staff of Teleportation coming in. Farseer perhaps going to try and get an Earthquake off. Not going to be very easy to do at all as the Shadow Wolves are there. There's a Chain Lightning, the Goblin Sapper taking it down once more and stopping that again as the Farseer traps himself into a corner and, well, going to go ahead and retreat back out. Armin taking the tier 2 here. Well, no gold mine here. Mining in the top left and top right only. This gold mine has come to an end. And, well, ArminvB now with a bank of over 2,000 gold. And it looks like he could try to set up an expansion here if he needed to. A great haul being established by Armin off over here at the 4 o'clock spot. And how does Armin win this game? Armin just needs to outlast his opponent now for the first time. For the first time in this matchup, it really feels like, well, Celebrate Me is running out of locations to try and set up ninja expansions. That's really what the problem is here. Are we perhaps going to get tiny great halls to set up more bases? Nope, that's just another, I take it back, Celebrate Me finding more places to set up bases as we're going to be looking at, well, the Farseer trying to finish off this War Mill again. All right, the game timer. Yeah, this is a 2-minute game. All right, so, well, it's gone over 1 hour already. We are now an hour and 2 minutes into this game with still no end in sight as the Wind Riders are now making their way back down over here to the corner to try and stop this expansion from being well fortified. We are looking at a couple of easy damage. Again, officially the longest game ever casted in 10 years. Yeah, I would have avoided trying to cast games over an hour long. I think I might have actually had a game over an hour long, but I split it up into 2 videos for the sake of, well, yeah, just for the sake of a little bit of a surprise to my viewers back then. All right. Staff of Teleportation. Farseer teleporting. Where is it going to go? Heads off over here to the bottom south. Chain Lightning finishes off the Goblin Sappers. Spider Sense was tingling, knowing, and with the spotting on those Sentry Wards. Level 6 Farseer has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There's an Ensnare. Is it going to try and break free? The throws down the Chain Lightning as the Wind Riders, while taking quite a bit of damage. Farseer going to retreat all the way back home. Yes, we have 2 level 10 heroes going up against a level 6 as the Shadow Wolves are summoned back the other way. Chain Lightning continuing to bounce around once more as we have well maxed out abilities on all of those heroes now. All right, there's a Chain Lightning finishing things off again. Maxed out experience as, well, the Wind Riders are going to try to head off into the corner again. 49 supply compared to 54. Armin actually with the larger army as Celebrate Me has a lot more workers in the corners of the map. Bestiaries could train up more units again. Plenty of lumber. That is not a problem at all. 49 supply compared to 52. Coming back through. Wind Riders, 4 Wind Riders here, 1 Farseer, Shadow Hunter. Actually, use of Serpent Wards would be rather hilarious at this point. Using Serpent Wards to try and snipe down some of those Wind Riders. That we are talking about, what, 50 points of damage per attack. There goes one, and going after those Wind Riders. Wind Riders having a very bad day indeed, losing multiple Wind Riders there. There's a Chain Lightning coming back the other way, but that one Shadow Hunter, an absolute beast, shutting down the Farseer and that Wind Rider army. Celebrate Me suddenly dropping from what, high 50s to low 40s in terms of overall supply. Level 10 Shadow Hunter, level 10 Farseer. Well, a couple of creep camps, orange creep camps, still have yet to be cleared out. We're looking at, well, Reveal being cast pretty much everywhere. Farseer using that Farsight to know where his opponent is constantly. Incredibly important indeed. Farseer with over 700 mana. Shadow Hunter down to the south here at 600 mana. And what is the intelligence there? All right. Well, Shadow Hunter does have higher intelligence than agility at this stage in the game. More Shadow Wolves still looking around, and it doesn't look like there is an end in sight as of yet. Celebrate Me has over 2,800 gold, but no 2,800 lumber, but not enough gold. More raiders are now getting trained up, but they will need zeppelins in order to, well, get out of those corner locations. Is Celebrate Me gonna be able to perhaps do hit and run tactics, finish off the last remaining buildings as the Wind Riders getting ensnared here? One Farseer. Is it one Farseer gonna try and clear out this corner creep camp? That is not a good idea at all. Even with a Wind Riders, that's not gonna be nearly enough, as it doesn't have that much mana either. It does have a tiny Great Hall here. Does he think that this, well, location has just already been cleared out, as the main army of Armin is here to try and, well, surprise his opponent? All right, Serpent Wards are in down. Farseer is going to be able to catch here, perhaps try and take down some of these units. A couple of Headhunters trying to retreat back there. One Wind Rider right there. Is it going to get purged? No, there's the purge finally, as the Wind Rider does get taken out. Farseer going to be able to finish off this last Granite Golem creep camp in the corner, get its precious gold and the very, very powerful consumable item. What is it going to be? Is it going to be summoning or a scroll of restoration? I can't tell. Blue Drake Egg. Summoning up a blue Drake Egg to try and channel or handle the skies and deal with those Wind Riders. All right. It doesn't feel like Armin has really been able to escape from his own corner or the south side of the map, but he's been able to hold on to this rather well. A couple of berserkers are here once more, ready to go, and these Shadow Wolves are gonna end up getting taken down pretty quickly. We don't see a purge coming in from Armin. Not quite sure. There you go, finally purging down those last couple of units, as we are looking at a Great Hall from Armin gonna get destroyed, and a tiny Great Hall from Celebrate Me. All right, so Celebrate Me with the tiny Great Hall here. Going to try and set up a base. He is at Fortress, remember. So going to Fortress just for that tiny Great Hall, as I mentioned earlier. Farseer being forced to put pressure off over here. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 10. Shadow Wolves easily just going to get purged and destroyed. There's another purge. That's going to get taken out there, as this Shadow Wolf, well, as this Great Hall gonna get cleaned up once more. All right, Goblin Zeppelin overhead here. Armin trying to set up an expansion, or set up this base for what seems like the 6th time. Doesn't seem like it's gonna really be able to go down. We are a 1 hour and 8 minutes into this game with still no end in sight, as Peon gonna end up getting taken out. All right, so if you are tuning in and you wanted to watch a WarCraft movie, this seems to be the game for you. We are 1 hour and 9 minutes into this game with still no end in sight, and, well, we'll see where we head off to next. All right, Staff of Teleportation coming back in. Armin coming in with a Shadow Hunter, able to finish things off here pretty quickly. Farseer going to go ahead and shut things down, as, well, that Peon jumps inside a temporary or a voodoo lounge to try and hide away for just one moment. All right, the center of Voodoo Loungers have all been destroyed. I am so glad there are observers in this game. Otherwise, trying to keep track of the mini map and what is going on would be near impossible. Wind Riders taking to the skies, 0-0 upgrades, but Wind Riders trying to fight against a Shadow Hunter with level 3 Serpent Wards almost seems like a lost cause. Shadow Wolves off to the north here are going to take down these watchtowers before they get up and operational, as peons are trying to load up over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Farseer is in position, going to go ahead, perhaps get a chain lightning off, perhaps. Where are the Wind Riders? I thought there was a group of Wind Riders that would have been able to take down the Zeppelin, but no, still no end in sight here. Hashtag better than the movie. All right. Remnants of Celebrate Me's initial base, one barracks, one Voodoo Lounge being left behind here. Farsi are going to go ahead and clean this up. Perhaps another Earthquake should be used to try and start clearing up some of the bases here as well. And, well, at least limit the amount of space on the map, and at least take down some of these buildings just in case it does turn into a true base race scenario. Wind Riders, well, Staff of Teleportation, are we going to be able to see that Farsi or perhaps get there in time? Nope. There's the army there. Tauren Chieftain now out onto the battlefield. All right. So finally going for a Tauren Chieftain after all this time. And meanwhile, off over here, a bunch of peons going to get cleaned up. Farseer is going to be able to throw down a tiny Great Hall, and with that tiny Great Hall, perhaps set up an expansion of his own. Yeah, classic, in all the Warcraft 3 games I've, with Orc versus Orc, you always go for Tauren Chieftain as a third hero at the 1 hour, 10-minute mark. All right, coming back across here, a quick, easy reveal. Another Wind Rider getting taken out. Tauren Chieftain still does not have experience at all, but that Endurance Aura going to be incredibly important. And perhaps also going for Shockwave to try and put pressure onto buildings as well. Bottom left-hand side of the map, Celebrate is setting up this Great Hall here right in front of a Sentry Ward, so Armin does know about it. Great Hall getting constructed here. Double Serpent Wards acting as protection against or Wind Riders that may decide to poke their head over. Those Serpent Wards are incredibly dangerous. 100 damage per shot against those Wind Riders with 0 armor and, well, with 0 light armor. Still no end here. 1 hour, 12 minutes into this game. Units are just running off into the corners. Only about a minute and a half of mining here, and only about a minute of mining here. So, well, Celebrate Me may be finally running out of gold mines. And I think this may be the very first time I've seen more gold mines destroyed than actually up here on Twisted Meadows. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold mines left on this gold clustered map here, as the Great Hall could end up getting destroyed again. Staff of Teleportation coming back over. In comes the Farseer. Farseer could be able to get off a very easy chain lightning, trying to add up that damage. Goblin Zeppelin now off over here as well, as the Shredder is just going to end up easily getting destroyed. Tauren Chieftain still doesn't have any experience, wants a little bit of that experience, and does in fact get it. But wow, that's odd. The Shadow Hunter and the Farseer taking some of that experience, even though they cannot gain any experience. All right, into the corner of the map, in comes Earthquake to try and disrupt a bit here. It looks as though all of these towers are going to get taken out. A bunch of these peons could get taken out as well, as the Farseer is sitting at level 6. No Staff of Teleportation inside since it is still on cooldown. All right, Great Hall down to 265 hit points. Are we going to be getting a bit of repair? Chain lightning bouncing around. Staff of Teleportation or Farse, or what's going on here? Is that a Scroll of Town portal? Yes, it is. As the Farseer able to back away, Wind Riders are there, as that is going to be a Scroll of Town portal to get away here. Are we going to perhaps get a chain lightning? No departing chain lightning, which would have been huge to finish off some of those units. 54 supply compared to 67. Celebrate Me still having a slight advantage. Mining is getting underway. What is going on here? Goblin Zeppelin flying over the edge, perhaps going to try and move some units back over once more. And well, the Zeppelin is just too far away. Red Drake gonna perhaps head off to the corner of the map, and well, for the first time in this game, I think Celebrate Me, well, since the opening moments, Celebrate Me is mining on one base only. Farseer, Shadowhunter back out onto the battlefield here. Farseer sitting at level 7 or 6. Wind Rider is going to be making their way back off to the north again, as well, we're going to be getting a little bit of elevator lifting between these two locations. Need to drop back up onto that high ground. All right, Blue Drake making its way over. It's going to end up taking a large amount of damage, perhaps trying to finish things off here. Watchtower, however, going to be fairly well protected, as that Blue Drake going to get taken down in no time flat. Wind Riders perhaps trying to finish off some units. Goblin Zeppelin, or Zeppelin, still loading onto the low ground again. I'm not quite sure why, as we're looking at the Goblin Shredder trying to back away. Shadowhunter is right there. There's a quick Hex onto the Farseer. Farseer taking a little bit of damage. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning? Goblin Zeppelin picks it up. No chain. Oh, there's the Chain Lightning finally bouncing around, trying to finish off some of those units again. Shadow Wolves are off over here. They're going to try and engage. They're hidden once more. Goblin Zeppelin Wind Riders making their way back over. There is a good number of Berserkers already on the island. So if Celebrate Me tries to sneak on in, this is going to be a very bad spot for it, as there's so much damage there. All right. No, it doesn't look like Armin was ready to pull the trigger, and what did not have his attention here. Farseer, Chain Lightning. Nope, no Chain Lightning. Shaman is right there, and Celebrate Me may finally be coming to an end. Wind Riders getting taken down. There's a purge onto the onto the Zeppelin. Farseer is now down onto the ground here. Chain Lightning trying to bounce around all of this damage. Level 7 now finally on the Farseer, but all of the Wind Riders are lost. Celebrate Me down to 57 supply, as Headhunters are trying to battle up against a level 7 Farseer, but there's just not enough of an army. Tauren Chieftain perhaps should drop out onto the ground, and finally, well, right there, Tauren Chieftain does go for Stomp. Could have tried to Stomp, but the Farseer already used that Scroll of Town portal. All right, Celebrate Me not to be outdone. Now trying to set up a second base again, a second mining base here. And I think this will be the very first game on Twisted Meadows where every single base is going to be perhaps trying to be mined from at least once. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2. Farseer, Shadowhunter units just trying to make their way out across the map again. Celebrate Me deciding that this is the perfect time to creep out an orange creep camp with a couple of Shadow Wolves and putting in pressure here. All right, the Farseer could end up taking a lot more damage than it bargained, though, as there's a little bit of cooldown on that Spirit Wolf still. Farseer could, well, nope, taking a lot of damage. Is it going to try and finish off this Rock Golem? It will. Rock Golem, however, constantly getting healed, will finally get finished off by the Wind Riders as a little bit of bonus support. Tome of Knowledge and True Shot Aura for that Farseer. Back off to the, well, this Town Hall or Great Hall was canceled again, as the Farseer now trying to use Goblin Sappers once more. All right, what can he really do with 3 Goblin Sappers on this side of the map? Not 100% sure when more Berserker is going to get taken out here. And this would be an interesting spot. The Tauren Chieftain has a lot of orange creep camps that it could actually clear out to try and get to level 3, level 4. Yeah, the question is, how do you just play this game? Tauren Chieftain, oh, are we going to see a Stomp? There's a Purge. Tauren Chieftain, is it going to throw down a Stomp? Doesn't need the Stomp as of yet. There's the Chain Lightning, and this can finally be the end of the game. 1 minute, 18 second mark. Farseer trying to make its way out across the battlefield. Scroll of Speed was used, and that must be a very, very fast, whatever it got transformed into. Farseer able to back away again. Farseer sitting at level 6. Goblin Sappers not able to finish a great haul here spot, as the Farseer now needs to heal back up again, down to 245 hit points. I thought the Tauren Chieftain would have been able to finish it off, but no such luck. Hex onto a Raider. Raider going to get taken out. Celebrate Me has 1 peon off over here. That's going to get destroyed as well. Tauren Chieftain, if it had gotten level 3 stomped, that would have been the end of the game. But instead, for some reason, after 1 hour and 19 minutes, we are still going. All right, Celebrate Me has had a couple of close calls so far, but it looks like Armin will be able to deal here. Just the power of 2 level 10 heroes and maybe far too much, as the Farseer now making its way out across the map. If this Farseer gets taken out, all right, are we going to see a Chain Lightning? No, Hex. Farseer just able to move so quickly with those boots of speed, endurance, or unable to catch up. Still, as the Wind Riders are going to go after a Goblin Shredder here. All right, Staff of Teleportation. Where is the Shadow Hunter going? Shadow Hunter perhaps trying to predict where that Farseer was going to go, trying to get in front of it, but no such luck. Serpent Wards are there. Quick Hex onto the Wind Rider. Wind Rider down to 275 hit points. But it looks like it will be able to end up surviving again. Coming back around, Farseer running back off to the north. Armin, well, a couple of skeletal minions here. Mass peons trying to shut down this Great Hall. There's an earthquake here, taking down this Great Hall. As even though it's trying to be built, Tauren Chieftain is going to throw down a stomp. Yes, it does stomp down a bunch of peons. The Great Hall Chain Lightning going to go ahead and bounce around for quite some time, taking down a couple of peons as well as the Tauren Chieftain getting, well, closer and closer to level 3. Back off to the north. Farseer is stuck. All right. Hero score. 2 level 10 heroes, a level 2 hero. That ending, I could not have predicted that ending there. I'm getting a Farseer stuck on the low ground from a goblin. Like, out of all of the ways I expected that game to end, having the Goblin Zeppelin drop the Farseer into a position where it couldn't run away was not the way that I expected it to end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that 1 hour, 20-minute marathon game. Pretty much a WarCraft movie for you in being run off the original classic WarCraft 3 engine. If you guys are looking for more WarCraft 3 stuff, just head on over to my YouTube channel. Tons and tons of videos for you guys to watch. Thanks, everyone.